Hello achievers, welcome or welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we'll be discussing how to be that student. You know, the student that's at the top of the class, the student that is in all the teachers' good graces, and the student that is always prepared for anything. Watch the video to the very end to grab all the knowledge, as this is a very informative and educational video. Alright, let's begin. Tip number 1, organization is key. If you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. That saying alone depicts the utmost importance of being organized and planning ahead for any and everything. Let me explain further. Using Notion. This isn't the first time I'm talking about Notion on my channel, but for those of you who are new here, Notion is an organizational tool that I use to plan my day, classes, assignments, tests, projects, exams, everything. I use the planner template to organize all my tasks based on the Eisenhower matrix, which groups tasks into 4 categories. The one with the highest priority is the important and urgent tasks, like an assignment that carries 50% of your grade and has a deadline. The second highest priority tasks are the important but not urgent tasks, like compulsory readings your lecturer gives you. And the mid priority are the not important but urgent tasks that don't have much importance to you, but they do possess urgency. And the lowest priority tasks are the not important and not urgent tasks. Scrolling through social media, watching movies, these tasks should be given the least attention. I don't want to talk too much on Notion, but if you like what you see and wish to access these Notion templates and more, you can DM me on Instagram with proof of your subscription to my YouTube channel, just to let me know that you are an achiever, and I will be more than happy to send you the link to the templates and instructions on how to download them. Staying on top of your assignments. The day you are given an assignment, write it down. Also write down the date of submission of the assignment and assign the date you want to start working on it. You know, the hardest part of a big task is just starting. So once you get everything flowing, it won't be an issue. If it's a cumbersome task, break it down into little actionable steps that you can do before the deadline. I'm firmly against doing assignments at the 11th hour. It's best to do it, get it done, and move on to the next task. Organizing your notes. If you take notes by hand, you don't need any fancy tools. You can use 3 colored pens, blue, red, and black. Here's what I'm saying. The best way to remember everything you've learned is through a study method called blurting. Blurting involves writing down every single thing you can remember after reading a chapter in your textbook. When you're done, you can then look at your textbook for references and whatever you missed or forgot to add using the blue pen. When answering past questions, I suggest you use a separate notebook, but here is where the red and black pens come in. Let's say you're taking a biology past question and it has 70 questions, combining both multiple choice and essay questions, and it has a time limit of 1 hour 30 minutes. You first set a timer for that on your phone. You use the blue pen to answer the questions, and when the timer's up and you weren't able to complete all the questions, you stop writing with the blue pen and use the black pen. This shows you how far you could go at that specific time limit. You can then try to work on your time management skills by aiming to finish a past question using only the blue pen. For the red pen, you are to use it for all your corrections and make sure to revisit these corrections from time to time. Organizing your study timetable. I've never been a fan of dedicating a whole day to only one subject, like Mondays for maths and Wednesdays for history. I love variety. Organize your timetable according to when you are most active. If you are an early bird, you'll be more active in the day, and if you are a night owl, you'll be more active at night. You can assign high priority tasks according to when you are most active and low priority tasks when you are least active. A bonus tip: at the end of the day, we are all humans. There are days we don't feel like doing anything, but instead of listening to that voice in your head telling you to sleep in and don't stand up, you can choose to do the bare minimum of whatever tasks you plan to do that day instead of everything. Cut down your study time by half. If you plan to study for 2 hours, study for 1 hour, and so on. But remember not to wallow for too long, as your incomplete work could be piling up on you, causing you to burn out subsequently. Tip number 2, the mindset. Like most things in life, studying also comes down to the mindset. To be the top student, you have to adopt a growth mindset and oppose a fixed mindset. If you're a student with a fixed mindset, you will remain stagnant. A student with a fixed mindset avoids challenges, refuses to receive criticism or feedback, feels threatened by other success, can't accept failures or mistake, and believe that talent is static. While a student with a growth mindset views challenges as opportunities to grow, embraces constructive criticism or feedback, feels inspired by others' success, learns from failures or mistakes, and believes that talent is ever improving. You need to know now that growth mindset is freedom, while a fixed mindset is limiting. You need to develop the right mindset towards studying. Don't see it as a drag or a chore. Instead, see it as a medium to be more knowledgeable than you were yesterday. Tip number 3. What type of learner are you? There are many types of learners, but the 3 main types of learners are visual learners, auditory learners, and kinesthetic learners. If you are a visual learner, you absorb info best when you can visualize relationships and ideas using maps, charts, or diagrams. You can use the following study tips: creating flashcards, watching videos on the topics, and making graphs. If you're an auditory learner, you learn best by hearing the teacher speak. You prefer vocal collaboration and communication. The following study tips are meant for you: reciting things out loud that you want to remember, taping your classes and your lectures, and reviewing your notes while listening to the tape. If you are a kinesthetic learner, you use different senses to absorb information. The following tips are meant for you: blotting, experimenting, making visuals, and using flashcards as well. You can take an online quiz to know what type of learner you are and use the study tips meant for you. I put the link for the online quiz in my description box. Feel free to try out the quiz after watching this video. Tip number 4. How to excel in class. First of all, you have to start attending lectures more. During discussions, you need to speak your mind, ask and answer questions, analyze the concepts and ideas, and prepare ahead for classes. Most importantly, you need to know your teacher, his likes, dislikes, preferences, style, and what he or she expects you to get out of the class. Depending on your analysis of your teacher's habits, you will need to adapt to his or her style. Also, make yourself a familiar face by asking questions and using their office hours effectively. The reason for this is that your teacher can serve you in many ways. They have experience in the field that you are hoping to get into. They could set you up for internships, job opportunities, and so much more. Tip number 5. Your phone, friend or foe. Now, I see many people bashing our mobile phones, especially social media apps, because let's face it, the endless scrolling on TikToks or Instagram is just frying our attention span. But now that we recognize that as a disadvantage, we can flip the coin and change it to an advantage. When you find yourself on these apps scrolling and liking and wherever, you need to ask yourself, how is this current moment serving me? How much value is this adding to my life? To break your social media addiction, you can use the apps for motivation, tips for productivity and self-improvement, and your phone shouldn't just be for chatting and watching movies. There are endless study tools on the internet that you can use to get ahead. If you made it this far, be sure to comment down below which tip you like the most and which tip you'll be willing to put into action today. If you enjoyed this video as well, be sure to like and subscribe. It's free. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.